Madam Secretary, would you take the roll?
Please let the record show that all planning commissioners are present except for Commissioner McCann.
Thank you. Looking for the approval of the minutes, prior meeting.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Please vote. It's unanimous. And public comments. Anyone that wishes to speak to the council on anything that's not on the agenda? All right. Close the public comments. Consent calendar. We have nothing on the consent calendar. Public hearing. Agenda item number 2. The Coastal Development Permit, CDP 190003, to demolish an existing single-family residence and construct a new 4,860 square foot single-family residence and attached 3-car garage within the residential single-family RSF 3 zoning district located at 35481 Camino Capistrano. Do we have a staff report?
We do. Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. Belinda Dinez will lead the presentation tonight.
Thank you, Matt. Good evening, Chair Donor, Planning Commissioners, and members of the public. My name is Belinda Dinez, Staff Planner for the OTT residence at 35481 Camino Capistrano. This project is before you for review and approval of a coastal development permit, as the project involves demolition and construction of a new single-family residence located on property in the coastal zone and appeals jurisdiction, including various improvements proposed within 50 feet of a coastal bluff. The subject site is located in Capistrano Beach within the RSF 3 zoning district on the oceanward side of Camino Capistrano between Gable Street and Seascape Circle. The rear of the property contains a portion of the coastal bluff where the topography descends from the building pad towards Pacific Coast Highway below the site. The property is developed with an existing 5,421 square foot, 2-story single-family residence and an attached 3-car garage and a non-conforming elevated deck towards the rear. The lot is approximately 10,243 square feet in area and bounded by vacant lots to the north and south of the property. Here's the property from street view, and all existing improvements on site will be demolished. The applicant proposes to construct a new 4,860 square foot house with less floor area and a smaller footprint, pulled further back from the bluff than the structure that exists today. The new 2-story structure includes bedrooms on the 1st story and the great room, kitchen, living area on the 2nd story. New landscape and hardscape is proposed, and natural vegetation remain on the existing slope. While the minimum setback from the coastal bluff along this stretch is identified at 40 feet, a deviation from this standard to reduce the building setback was determined to be 25 feet as recommended by the geotechnical report prepared for the project and reviewed by city staff. The project meets all development standards for the RSF 3 zoning district as summarized in this chart. While a 25-foot bluff setback reduction was applied, the applicant proposes the new structure to be built 37 feet and 3 inches from the bluff edge. Here's the proposed site plan highlighting the required setbacks for the property. In the RSF 3 zone, the project complies with the 20-foot garage setback and 8-foot side setbacks. The bluff edge is shown in blue and the 25-foot bluff edge setback in red. Improvements within the bluff setback include minor grading, patio area, a decomposed granite path, on-grade fire pit, and plantings. No irrigation is proposed within the bluff setback area, and the amount of hardscape is less than 50% of the total area within the bluff. The geotechnical report concludes that the proposed improvements will not compromise slope stability as designed. The proposed home consists of 3 bedrooms, 2 offices, and an exercise room, which requires a 3-car garage. The existing sidewalk and curb cut will remain as is. Here's the first floor plan of the oversized garage and 2 master bedrooms on the lower level. The second floor features the great room, offices, bedroom, and exercise room, and a 150 square foot balcony off of the rear. The applicant proposes traditional style with architectural features such as varied roof forms, offset walls, and use of materials to minimize the appearance of mass and scale as viewed from the street and other elevations. Here's the south and rear elevations, with the rear elevation proposed with floor-to-ceiling glazing and a glass railing for the balcony. This section shows the proposed structure in compliance with the required building height measured from the lowest point at existing grade. On areas where the roof is 4 and 12 pitch, the maximum height is 26 feet, whereas the cylindrical entry feature off the north side is proposed at a 6 and 12 roof pitch and allows for a 28-foot maximum height. Here's the proposed color material sample board with natural tone shiplap plank siding, white shingle siding, white vertical board and batten panel siding, natural stone, black shingle roofing, slate gray standing seam metal roofing, and white trim windows and garage doors. The Planning Commission must make the following findings in order to approve the CDP and the project. Staff provides justification and analysis of support of the proposed findings as described in the staff report and the draft resolution. The proposed improvements meet the development standards of the municipal code and is consistent with the city's general plan. The project is not located within the nearest public roadway in the sea. However, public coastal access exists along this portion of the coast as shown on the map. Furthermore, this project constitutes infill addition of an already developed property with no significant environmental impacts with the proposed work. With that, staff recommends approval of this coastal development permit, subject to the findings and conditions as described in the draft resolution. At this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. We have any questions for staff? All right.
Linda, I just have a couple. Excuse me. How often do you reduce the bluff setback? Because it says it's reducing it from the 40 feet to the 25 feet. Is that something common in this area?
It is, especially for projects that are already developed along this stretch. The existing house was built closer than 40 feet. In fact, the existing non-conforming deck was built beyond the bluff setback. And so a determination is made based on our code requirements as to whether or not the reduction could be made and such that the property does not result in bluff instability.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just one right now. In looking at the property and seeing the depth of it, standing outside, obviously, it appears that the retaining walls and the concrete with the wooden fence, as you look from Camino Capistrano back at the property, and you can't really see from our perspective how far back the existing house is. And so we didn't have the opportunity to look to see how this is in some shape or form causing a problem with the bluff that's there above the pad with the bluff above Coast Highway. One of the things, and I know this will be taken care of course, but one of the issues that I saw that as we look now going toward the back of the property, there were some concrete and some retaining walls and a fence toward the cliff. Are all of these issues going to be, I'm assuming, taken care of to specifications and to I like to think in every single issue, because we're talking about the bluffs,
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Murphy. To clarify, we did look at the existing improvements at length with our Public Works staff and in review of the geotechnical report. Portion of the existing retaining wall in question along the north property line will be demolished, especially the section between the bluff edge and the 50-year future retreat, as you can see on the site plan. And so those improvements from the 50-year retreat will be demolished. However, the portion of the retaining wall within the bluff edge setback will remain in place. That has been reviewed, that it will be in compliance with the requirements for, in conversations with our Public Works staff, so that the improvements on grade with the patio will carry forward. So there are certain minor improvements that can be allowed within the bluff, 25-foot bluff setback. That's one of the improvements that will remain.
Thank you.
How much further back is the new property or building prior compared to the old building?
Yes. So the existing building is actually built about 10 feet further forward towards the bluff than what is being proposed today at its greatest extent. So it will be pulled back, as I mentioned, approximately 37 feet from the bluff edge.
Okay.
Well,
Any
as
other
well
questions?
as the deck. So the deck is actually extending beyond the bluff edge, and that will be demolished entirely.
Any other questions?
Just one more. I noted there's some palm trees on the existing pad, and will those be left there or taken away?
They will be demolished as part of they will be removed as part of the landscape plan.
Okay, so because the palm trees are going to be removed, is there going to be any other kind of plants or trees or?
I believe, as shown on the preliminary landscaping plan on the last page, there is a strawberry tree proposed along the north side in front of the entry.
Okay.
And then there are palms toward the front that will remain.
Oh, those existing ones will remain. Okay,
Correct.
good. All right, thank you.
Hearing no further questions, I'm going to open the public hearing, and we have one speaker, John Taylor. Do you wish to address the Planning Commission?
Good evening. Thank you for having me, Chair, Commissioners. My name is John Taylor. I represent South Point Construction and the owners, Bob and Barbara Ott. I will be the project manager at the site, running this project from demolition to completion. So it's been a long year waiting for this to come through, so we're very excited about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll close the public hearing and open it up for the discussion among the commissioners.
Mr. Chair, so I reviewed the plans, went out to the site, and I'm in full support of this project. It meets all the requirements of our code. There's no public access issues. They're reducing the footprint. They're moving it off the bluff top. I mean, almost everything we would want has been done without us even having to ask. So, excuse me. So I'm in full support. Like I said, there's no habitat. They're not adjusting or changing the existing landform, and it's absolutely, I mean, it's totally visually compatible with computers freaking out here with the neighborhood. So for those reasons, I would be in full support tonight.
Mr. Murphy?
I would mimic that with great enthusiasm.
Same as the other commissioners, I don't have anything else to add.
Great. Well, we think it's going to be a great improvement, so I'm definitely in favor of the project. I will call for a motion.
I'll make that motion that we approve coastal development permit CDP 19-0003 to demolish an existing single-family residence and construct a new 4,860 square foot single-family residence at the attached, and an attached 3-car garage within the residential single-family 3 RSF3 zoning district located at 35481 Camino Capistrano.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. It's unanimous. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing a new building there. Next item on the agenda. You're welcome to stay, but you don't need to. The next item on our agenda is old business. We have no old business, new business, no new business. Staff reports.
I just have one item to report this evening. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is August 12th. August 12th. We don't have any items scheduled that evening, and I would ask that you hold that date available. We're targeting that for our harbor workshop. I'm still awaiting some final confirmation from some of the folks that need to adjust their schedules and whatnot to attend, and I'll keep you updated as soon as that date's confirmed. But again, we will not have a regularly scheduled Planning Commission meeting on the 12th and intend to do the workshop that evening.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any comments from the commissioners?
I'll just say, good times for all, as we were all wandering around Dana Point and up on the mountaintops and down by the sea. We have everything here, and you get a trolley ride too. So we're very, very fortunate.
A free trolley ride.
A free trolley ride. Yes.
All right. Hearing no other comments, I will adjourn the meeting.